Boeing giving updates on the 737 MAX fallout at its annual shareholder meeting today. Ylan Mui is in Chicago with more on this. It's been 12 hours since I saw you last, Ylan. How are you? Good to see you.
Joe, Dennis Muhlenberg gave a mea culpa today. Over and over, he said that Boeing has to earn and re-earn the public trust. And when asked directly about whether he should resign and questions about his leadership, here's what he said.
And I can tell you that both of these accidents weigh heavily on us as a company. I've had the privilege of working for the Boeing company for 34 years. And we know that lives depend on what we do.
Right now, he said the company's top priority is getting the 737 MAX planes back in the air safely. As for whether or not they would compensate airlines for revenue lost while the planes are grounded, Muhlenberg said that's still under discussion.
We're going to be working very closely with our airline customers and with the FAA and with regulatory authorities around the world as we finish up the certification process on the software update and have safe re-entry into service. We're going to be diligently doing that airplane by airplane with our customers. I think getting it back up and flying is obviously a key step in rebuilding confidence.
Southwest and American Airlines both expect the planes to be back in service by the end of August, but some analysts say that timeline is too optimistic. Today, Muhlenberg said that he and other Boeing officials will be on the inaugural flights whenever they may occur. Back over to you.
All right, Ylan, thank you. Now, we're going to trade this, Tim.
Let's do it. And look, we basically, if you listen also to their investor day or the recent earnings numbers, you got no real guidance. You have no real sense when the FAA is going to necessarily give clearance for these MSCS improvements to allow them to begin shipping. So what you have to do is ultimately take out your MAX 737s from the equation between now and year end. And what it leaves you with is a company that by 2021 is exactly where it is right now. So the question is, do investors need to do anything right now? The answer is possibly not. But I have to tell you, the way the stock behaves and the history here with the FAA and groundings tells you you actually want to own the stock probably out 3 to 4 weeks into that movement.
You would say that this is the most scrutiny that's been, I think it is. This is the most scrutiny that's ever been with a company the size of Boeing with an incident that Boeing just had. So I was a long-term holder of Boeing. I still believe that there's tremendous headwinds going forward. If there's so much as a hiccup on another flight or another plane, this is going to be a disaster for Boeing. So I think this is still a no touch. It's still up 17% year to date.
I mean, I've actually been surprised how well it's held up in light of everything. And in particular, it seems like this is dragging on a lot longer than I had expected. 360, that is your support level. So if you own it or you're thinking about owning it, if it drops below 360, there's probably something going on that you don't know about. Time to get out. It's all about risk reward in this trade. I don't think there's massive upside in the very short term either, though.
I think you can own it here. I mean, it's interesting. People, I'm not suggesting anybody here does or our audience does, but people forget there's a defense component to Boeing as well. And today they got awarded a $5.7 billion contract for some sort of planes or combat control capability system. Regardless, my point is, it's not just commercial planes. Yes, this is a big deal, but the cash flow is ridiculous. Valuation is compelling. I think you can buy the stock here.
Okay, we're going to end it on that note. I'm just wondering whether we all start at some point just walking on 737 Maxes without it. Someday that will happen, where we're walking on, we won't even know we're walking on.
You won't know.
Yeah,
you
we
won't
even know. I think
I'd get on one. Come on.
Yeah, a pilot knows what's going on in a first mate.